everyone, how are you today? Today's video is about our IKEA hack vanities that we did for both of our bathrooms. I'm gonna show you both bathrooms, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of those, and I'm also gonna show you exactly how we did this hack. And along the way, I'll also explain my overall thoughts around the interior decisions that we ended up making. One quick thing before we get into all of that, if you're curious about the closets that you see here right behind me, you can check out that hack right here in this video. It's a guide that tells you exactly how we made those closets, and I've also put the link in the description box if you'd be interested to check it out later. But as promised, this video is about our IKEA hack vanities that we did for our bathrooms. This hack is actually pretty fast to make and also rather simple, especially if you're only doing one vanity and if you're only using one module and not putting more modules together like we did for our biggest bathroom. We used these modules from IKEA, they're classic bathroom modules. Of course, first you have to decide what you want. You have to decide on a color scheme, and you have to decide like what materials do you like. I pretty much knew that I wanted a grayish bathroom with brass details because I think those two go really well together. I can recommend making a mood board first with paint and tile swatches and the knobs or handles that you want. That can really help you to get a sense of how it's all going to look together, and you'll be less likely to regret your choices if you do this first. Here in the master bathroom, there's a lot of space, so I chose to go with two 40cm modules and one 60cm module, with the 40cm modules on either side of the bigger one. And that means lots of space for storing extra towels, hairdryer, and other stuff that quickly take up a lot of space. And the guest bathroom is only half the size, so in here I went with a single module which is 100 centimeters wide. This is still a fair amount of storage space, which is good because I love that I don't have to go to the laundry room to pick up an extra towel if needed. It's just so much faster to have all of that stored in the bathroom already, so you can just grab it when you need it. I also really love the idea of keeping bathroom related cleaning supplies in the bathroom because it just makes cleaning easier. And I also kind of believe that you're more likely to clean your bathroom a little more often if those things are just easily accessible to you in the bathroom. And I don't know if it's true for everyone, it probably isn't. I'm much more likely to clean the toilet when I'm in the bathroom if the product that I need to do this is already there, especially when it comes to like lime buildup in the toilet. That really can get out of hand pretty quickly if you don't do something about it, like once or twice a week, or sometimes even more than that. But I don't want it standing right next to the toilet for several reasons. One of them is that I don't want my kids to be able to touch it, and I don't want to look at it because it's not a nice looking product. I don't want it like sitting out on the floor. So I find it really nice to just be able to put it away in a drawer. So overall, all of this storage space is just wonderful, and it definitely makes cleaning chores and everyday life easier for my family and I. Maybe you just want your vanity to stay white, or you're fine with using one of the drawer front designs that IKEA offers. Or maybe you're like me, who loves to paint everything a very specific color. After deciding on the color scheme and overall design of the bathroom, I bought the paint that I wanted and started painting all of the parts for the vanity. I pretty much always use the same type of paint for all of my projects. This one is called Supreme Finish, and it's from this brand. It's really, really good quality paint, and it dries up beautifully, and you almost can't detect the brush strokes in the end. They're only slightly visible. Instead of using a brush, you can also use a paint sprayer. By using a paint sprayer, you'll get a smooth surface, and painting the different parts will be much faster, but it's also a method that creates quite a mess, so you have to really cover up everything before using a paint sprayer. Or if you have a garden and if the weather allows it, you can paint outside, and that's probably the easiest way overall, because it's fast and it's not messy. And I would say for projects like these, you should always, always, always go for high quality paint. If you can afford it, don't hesitate to spend the extra money, because I promise you it's totally, totally worth it. The one that I used is medium glossy, and that is what I prefer and what I use for most of my projects, especially because it's super easy to clean and it looks really good, and This color is called Space. Here's the color code for anyone interested in that same color. Before I painted, I used a primer, also of good quality from the same brand. And in the past, I used to sand all the parts before painting, but I found that if you use a good primer, you can actually skip that step and just go straight ahead to priming and painting. With this brand, I've never had any bad experiences. It's never chipped and it always just sticks. And of course, I can't know if this is the case with all brands. It probably isn't. This is just my experience with the type of paint that I'm using. If you want, you can do a test where you sand a small area of one of the parts that you're going to paint, then you prime it and paint it, and you do the same thing just without sanding on another small spot on one of the parts. And then you can like compare if it sticks well either way. So yeah, my experience is just that if you use a good primer and some really good paint, you don't have to sand first. Then I made sure to only paint the parts that would be visible, which means I didn't paint the sides of the 40 and 60 centimeter modules because they'd be placed tightly against each other anyway. So I didn't want to waste my time on that. I did, however, paint the inside of all the cabinets, as those parts are going to be visible whenever you open the drawers. So after doing 1 layer of primer and 2 layers of paint, I assembled each one and each of the drawers, and my husband installed them in each of the bathrooms. However, before installing the larger vanity in the master bathroom, he put them together using these screws. You should really try to place them so that they won't later interfere with the drawer slides that you're going to attach after this. We placed them right here. At the end, you can use a spirit level to check if it's level, and then you can adjust it until you're satisfied. And the tricky part here is that adjusting the drawer fronts is not really an option. There are some small irregularities in how these drawer fronts are placed compared to each other, but it's not something that's super visible. You should just be mindful of this if you choose to combine 2 or more of these modules, because they can't be adjusted like mid-tilt fronts or PAX cabinet doors. And this is the part where you can attach whatever knobs or handles you like. If you don't like knobs or handles and you prefer a more minimalistic look, you can buy these push openers from Ikea instead. I chose small brass knobs that will eventually gain some patina, just like our other fixtures in the bathroom. Here you just have to find the middle of the drawer front and decide how far down you want to attach the knobs. In the end, we have professionals install the countertops, the sinks, and the fixtures. For the countertop, we chose this beautiful Carrara marble, and the company that delivered this also attached the sink beneath the countertop, so we didn't have to do that. And then we had a plumber install the fixture and connect the water. This next part, where you put in the drawers, really depends on what kind of sink you've chosen for your bathroom. These modules are made specifically for Ikea's own line of bathroom sinks, and that means that not all sinks will be able to fit, unless of course you do some modifications yourself. And I would say the easiest option is by far to use an Ikea sink meant for these modules. Another easy option is to get a sink that's placed on top of the countertop. In our previous home, our bathroom vanities were also Ikea hacks. You can take a look at this reel that I created back then and see how that turned out. We used a sink that could be placed on top of the countertop, and that ended up looking really, really good. So that is definitely also an option for you. For people who want something similar to what we ended up doing, things are a little more complicated. Mainly because you will have to remove the back of the drawer and you will have to cut a square into the bottom of the drawer. And the size of this cut will of course vary depending on your sink. And this is how we ended up doing it. First, you have to measure your sink to find out how much you'll need to cut out of the drawer bottom. Then you can remove the back side of the drawer and mark the places where you're going to cut it. Now the drawer is completely open in the back, and that'll need to be corrected so that the things you eventually put in the drawer actually stay in there and don't just like fall out the back. So now you'll have to cut 5 pieces from the back side of the drawer, the one that you removed before cutting into the drawer bottom. Then you measure how long each of the 5 pieces need to be. You cut them, you sand them around the edges if they're sharp, and they probably are. Then you drill small holes in each of them for the screws that you're going to attach them with, just like this. Okay, so unfortunately my camera died, the battery died, and I couldn't find the charger anywhere, so now I'm filming the rest of this on my phone. And for a really nice finish, I'd probably even out small irregularities like this at some point and paint the inside of these drawers. I think that would look really, really good, or you could coat it with waterproof vinyl, or if you're not into that, you could just place organizers and no one would ever know. And that really is the solution for all the slackers out there, which will probably also end up being me, at least for now, because I really don't know where I'll find the time to paint them. Then we put up these amazing frosted glass Art Deco inspired wall lights. I'm simply in love with them, and I think I found the perfect lamps for the bathrooms, but it really wasn't easy either. I can't even think of how many hours I spent trying to find something that was both pretty and somewhat affordable. I've linked these amazing lights down below in the description box if you'd like to check them out. And this mirror in the master bathroom measures 70 by 110 centimeters, and the one in the other bathroom is a wee bit smaller, 60 by 100 centimeters. Perfect size for each bathroom, if you ask me. And I love the facet cut edges. That's a really nice detail that kind of frames the mirror and adds an elegant look to it. These mirrors are very affordable. We only paid about 70 euros for each of them, and they're from Bauhaus. Here at the end, I'll just give you a quick tour of the bathrooms. During the tour, I'll just continue the voiceover because the acoustics in there are not good. I don't think that's nice to listen to, so I'll just do the voiceover. So here we got some hooks for towels. We're also planning on getting a brass towel rack here. This is the bathtub, which I adore. It's made of cast iron with a white enamel coating. Jonathan thinks this fixture looks like a telephone from the 1800s, and he's made fun of it just about 10,000 times. And I kind of have to agree with him, but at the same time, I just love it. I think it's so pretty. And here's the shower. We had this shelf made, and it goes all the way over here, and we use it for shampoo, conditioner, and whatever we want to put here. And over by the toilet, we use it for the Sonos speaker. And here's the toilet, and also more brass details. It's pretty much the same out here in the guest bathroom, just smaller and without the tub. Same accessories, exactly the same design. So that was my IKEA vanity hack. I hope that I was able to inspire you and that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more interior content and more IKEA hacks. And I'll have a new video for you again very soon.